Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Eye of Timaeus Yugioh deck profile. Been wanting to do an Eye of Timaeus Yugioh deck since the release of my Critias deck profile. I also plan to do Hermos sometime down the road, and also the Legendary Knights deck that involves the Legendary Knights of all three of the dragons in one deck profile as well. All decks I'm currently working on, but before that I got most of the stuff for the Eye of Timaeus deck, so I figured I would do a deck profile for the dragon used by Yugi during the Waking the Dragons arc, which focuses on the Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl support, using different fusions, using those two as the monsters used to summon them out with the Eye of Timaeus spell card. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. Now for the actual monsters, like I said, running off of the Dark Magician support, we are running this with a Dark Magician engine. So 3 Dark Magician definitely needed for the deck, being the focus for 2 of your fusions in the extra deck, being Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, and Amulet Dragon, to fusion summon these cards out using just normal fusion means or the Eye of Timaeus. We have both options available to us in this deck as a whole. So 3 Dark Magician, just easy to summon out, since with Eye of Timaeus you have to control the card on the field, but it's very, very easy to summon out Dark Magician in this deck, and also just to have some of your other resources, including Dark Magician Girl, on the field to go with all of your plays. Speaking of Dark Magician Girl, I'm also running 2 copies of this card. The only reason I run 2 Dark Magician Girl is she's very easy to summon out, just like Dark Magician, and she only has 1 fusion, which we do run 2 of in the deck, but still not as many different options as Dark Magician to summon out, but still plenty of options to use this card and revolve around all the other different spell and traps that we run with this card, along with Dark Magician for the extra deck. So just 2 of this felt was needed, just because once you get her in the graveyard once again, you can easily special summon her back out onto the field to use for other fusions as well. And a big part of the plays in the deck, I run 3 Keeper of Dragon Magic. Now, a lot of the cards for our fusions in the extra deck revolve around Timaeus, which needs a Dark Magician Girl, or a Dragon Monster. And Keeper of Dragon Magic, being a Dragon Monster that fusion, searches out fusion material and fusion spell cards. If this card is normal or special summon, you can discard 1 card to add 1 polymerization, normal spell, or fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. You can reveal 1 fusion monster in your extra deck, special summon 1 of the fusion materials whose name is specifically listed on that monster from your graveyard in face down defense position. You can only use this effect of Keeper of Dragon Magic once per turn, and you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters the turn you activate either of these card effects. So what's great about it is it helps to set up your fusion plays by searching out polymerization, but also giving you resources back onto the field to use. And like I said, this card being in this spellcaster based deck, but being a dragon monster, means we can summon out all of the different Timaeus fusions in the extra deck as well, using this card for that general setup. For more of the Dark Magician support, I do run the 3 Magician's Rod. When it's normal summon, you can add 1 spell or trap from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician and its card text. During your opponent's turn, if you activate a spell or trap card effect while this card's in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can tribute 1 spellcaster to add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Magician's Rod once per turn. But this search power, we run a lot of 1-ofs in the main deck as well for Dark Magician, so just being able to specifically search out those cards if we don't go for Dark Magical Circle with this card, or if we just have other options available to us, this is a great search power for sure to make sure we get any of those cards into our hand to use with the Eye of Timaeus plays in general. And just because it lists Dark Magician, we can also search Eye of Timaeus with this card, since it specifically lists Dark Magician as well in its card text for your plays. But also remember that when going for the search plays for any of the other spell and traps in the deck as well. And for more easy special summon power, I run 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. And during damage calculation, if your other Dark Spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face on the field to the graveyard. That monster you control gains 2,000 attack and defense during damage calculation only. So just more setup with this card being another easy special summon onto the field to use for other resources, including just some of the other extra deck monsters we may want to summon out. And being a level 6, it works well with Dark Magician Girl if we wanted to go for a rank 6 Xyz play in the extra deck also. And for more special summon power for Dark Magician, I also run 2 Magician of Dark Illusion, just another easy way to special summon Dark Magician out onto the field, or just to easily special summon this for more rank 7 plays, and it becomes Dark Magician while it is on the field as well, so it works great with Dark Magical Circle for all of those plays all together. So running 2, I've only run 2 of this though. You have easy setup with this card along with all the other Magician cards we run in the deck, so just very, very consistent. So you go into some of our rank 7 plays in the extra deck as well. And that is it for the monsters. I stuck to just the basis for the Dark Magician plays you can do in the deck. It just works all very, very well together, with the only exception being Keeper of Dragon Magic for those searches for polymerization, so you can have plenty of searches for all of your fusion power in the deck as a whole. For the spells, with Eye of Timaeus being your main go-to fusion, you do have polymerization, so if you wanted to add in a 3rd copy of Eye of Timaeus, you can drop one of the additional polymerizations when we get to that spot, or one of the other one-ofs in our spell lineup for a 3rd copy of Eye of Timaeus. That is completely player choice at that point, but this card's always treated as Legendary Dragon Timaeus. You target 1 Dark Magician monster you control, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists that monster on the field as fusion material, and using it as fusion material, you can only activate 1 Eye of Timaeus per turn. Now, with this card as your go-to setup, targeting 1 Dark Magician monster you control. Now, I don't know if that specifically lists the name. I might be wrong for the search for Dark Magician, since it says Dark Magician monster. So you might not be able to search with Magician's Rod, this card specifically, having the name Dark Magician exactly for Magician's Rod. But still, just a great option for the fusion search with this card when you have it in the deck, because then it lets you go for your fusion plays just by sending 1 face-up monster on the field to the graveyard for that play. Since it lists Dark Magician, it might also apply Dark Magician Girl, so more than likely you may not be able to search Magician's Rod off of that search, but either way, it's just a really, really good spell lineup power play for the plays to rely on and being able to get out your big fusion monsters. We still have the polymerization play because I want plenty of options to go into the search power with the deck, but like I said, if you want to add in a 3rd copy of Eye of Timaeus, you have plenty of other options to take out in the main deck for this spot. And also, I run 3 Dark Magical Circle. When this card is activated, you look at 3 cards on the top of your deck. You can reveal 1 Dark Magician or 1 spell or trap that specifically lists Dark Magician and its card text from among them. Add to your hand. Also, place the remaining cards on the top of your deck in any order. And if Dark Magician is normal or special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and banish it. So you have options with this card set up on the field to banish a bunch of other different cards as well. And then just being able to go for that play makes it so you can have the option to banish your opponent's card, but having easy spell search and just having this continuous spell set up on the field always to use also. And for more search for Dark Magician into our hand, I run 3 Illusion Magic. You tribute 1 spellcaster monster to add up to 2 copies of Dark Magician from your deck to your hand and or graveyard to hand. You can only activate 1 Illusion Magic per turn, but this card works great with the setup for Magician's Navigation, since you have to special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, then you can special summon 1 level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster from your deck. So having the search power and easily getting Dark Magician into your hand to use with Illusion Magic definitely does make it a 3 of, because one that I definitely like to tribute the most would either be Magician's Rod or Apprentice Illusion Magician when you set it up on the field. And I also run 2 Soul Servant. You place 1 card on the top of your deck from your hand, deck, or graveyard that is Dark Magician or specifically lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in its text, except for Soul Servant. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, draw cards equal to the number of Palladium monsters, Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girl with different card names on the field or in the graveyard. More draw power, since we have the majority of the cards in this deck revolving around Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and with a lot of their card text also becoming Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard, makes it all the more powerful for your plays. For some of the one-ofs for the spells, I run 1 Secrets of Dark Magic. We use this just for the fusion play. We fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as fusion material. So being able to have a quick play spell to go into our many fusion monsters, as long as you have, Keeper of Dragon Magic as one of the required ones for the Timaeus monsters, you can go for that fusion play using this card. 1 Dark Magic Veil being another searchable card for getting Dark Magician out easily onto the field. Just one Dark Spellcaster type monster from your hand or graveyard. So you can even get Dark Magician Girl using this card, then just have the options to summon them out onto the field for the play of Eye of Timaeus. Remember, this is not a specific card that lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, so you can't search it with Magician's Rod. So it might even be an option for a third Eye of Timaeus if you want to run 3 copies in the deck. I also run 1 Dark Magic Expanded, just a power boost card. This would be the second option to take out for a third Timaeus if you wished. 1 Dark Magic Attack and 1,000 Knives for the other options of destruction in the deck while you have Dark Magician on the field. And 1 Dark Magic Curtain, just being another easy special summon of Dark Magician from your main deck to the field to use. And then for the spells, lastly, I run the 2 Polymerization. You can search this card with Keeper of Dragon Magic, or even it can be the 1 spot to take out for a third copy of Eye of Timaeus if you wish in the deck. Having just 1 copy, since it would be searchable by Keeper of Dragon Magic, but I like the 2 copies just as an easy way to get out some of your fusion monsters using cards from your hand as well to summon those monsters out. And that's it for the spells. Moving on to the traps, I run 2 Magician's Navigation. You special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand, then special summon 1 level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster monster from your deck. If you control Dark Magician except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up spell your opponent controls and negates effects until the end of this turn. So with this card, you have easy effect negation against your opponent, but just an easy way to summon out Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl onto the field, and then have the choice with Eye of Timaeus on the field for which one you want to fusion out for these specific fusion requirements. Only 2 though. Once again, this card is searchable with Magician's Rod or even Dark Magical Circle for that setup, so you don't really need more than 3 copies, because with Dark Magician also being able to easily add to your hand with Illusion Magic, I run 2 Eternal Soul. Every Dark Magician in the monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. If this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use the following effects of Eternal Soul once per turn. You can special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, so there's that recycle power using Dark Magician, or you can add 1 Dark Magic Attack or 1,000 Knives from your deck to your hand. More search power with those cards as well, relying on this for either effect that you want for the turn, whether it's consistency getting your monsters out or just having the search power for some of your spells in the deck also. And for the one-ofs for the trap spots, I run 1 Magician's Combination and 1 Dark Renewal. More special summon power with Dark Renewal, and with Magician's Combination, once per turn when a card effect is activated during the damage step, you can tribute 1 Dark Magician or 1 Dark Magician Girl from your hand or graveyard with different name from the tribute monster with that special summon from the hand or graveyard. So just more consistency, being able to go back and forth between your 2 monsters, and if this face-up card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card in the field. Being more defensive power with that last part, but just being able to special summon 1 with a different name from the one you tributed if you want to go for a specific fusion play, also very useful. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 1 Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. You need Dark Magician and 1 Dragon Monster, so using your Dark Magician and your Keeper of Dragon Magic. If you don't have your Eye of Timaeus, these can be the fusion requirements right here for this card. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard. Your opponent cannot target spell or traps you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so just a powerhouse for protecting your cards on the field while this is out on the field. Not so much the offensive one to go for. That would be the next card lineup, which is your Amulet Dragon, which I am running 2 of. It must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, which are once again Dark Magician and 1 Dragon Monster, and must be fusion summoned or with the Eye of Timaeus. If this card is special summoned, target any number of spell in any player's graveyards, banish those targets, and if you do, this card gains 1 heart attack for each card banished by this effect. If this card is destroyed, you can target 1 spellcaster monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So definitely a great way, especially when I went up against a Sky Striker deck. I took care of a lot of problems with that deck since I was able to get rid of a good number of cards using this effect, since it took a lot of spells for the banish for its power boost for sure. And for the Dark Magician Girl play, I run 2 Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, using the same setup. You can use Eye of Timaeus or Dark Magician Girl and Keeper of Dragon Magic. That must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials or with Eye of Timaeus. Cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, target 1 face-up card on the field, and destroy it. Now, this is the true powerhouse in the deck, being a destruction effect, while Dark Magician has more of the boost power. and then also the protection plays, but being able to rely on Dark Magician Girl to the Dragon Knight to destroy cards on the field is a big bonus there for sure. For some of the other fusions, I run one of the Dark Magicians with Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician in case you need that fusion play to go into as well, and one First of the Dragons, having plenty of normal monsters in the deck to fusion summon out into another boss monster, which is also a dragon if you need to use for some of your other plays revolving around dragon monsters. For the Xyz, I run one Ebon High Magician for the rank 7s when you can make it with your level 7s we run in the deck. Same with number 11 Big Eye, and with Apprentice Illusion Magician and Dark Magician Girl, one Norito, the Morale Leader, for finishing off the Xyz monsters. For the Link monsters, I run one Predaplant Vert Anaconda, just more fusion play options with this Link monster. One Cross Sheep, when you can set this card up and go for the fusion plays, it's all the better. One Wee Witch's Apprentice, one Nightmare Cerberus, and one Nightmare Phoenix to finish off the extra deck. But altogether, that is it for the deck profile as it comes for actual plays or combos to do in the deck, focusing on just special summoning out your Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and then going for the Eye of Timaeus play, depending on whichever fusion you want to summon out is your main go-to play style in the deck. So even if you can get them both out with Magician's Navigation, being able to then use one of them for the fusion play and keep the other one on the field for other spells, including Thousand Knives and Dark Magic Attack, being able to get the powerful Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight while keep Dark Magician on the field for all your other spells is definitely a good combo to rely on with Magician's Navigation, which can be used after you summon out Magician's Rod, giving you the search for your illusion magic, and then easily summoning it out after searching Dark Magician and hopefully already having Magician's Navigation in your hand to use. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'll definitely be working on the Hermos deck and also the Legendary Knights deck, so look forward to that. Might wait to get a little more of the support from the upcoming Dragons Unleashed special edition, I believe. I don't remember the exact name what it's called, but we will be getting more support reprinted for those decks, so that might be the best way to get about collecting the rest of it. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.